During that evening, that was quite busy. Officers were busy handling the 4-5 truck that was in the parade. And a lot of revelers. What the incidents what really had, we were still investigating 2 stabbings. Not serious, but the details are not clear on this, and several fights. And as we said through the whole year, this is carnival. We come to party, enjoy, and leave the fighting and all those incidents at home.
Based on your evaluation so far, would you therefore say that the police were happy with the way things were executed, Inspector?
When it comes to the operations of the police self, it was we were prepared for this. But as usual, during most of these kind of events, you end up with a lot of minors drinking, the fighting, the pushing. And last night we also had 2 of these incidents that really tarnished the enjoyable moments of Carnival as it opened yesterday, the first jump up.
During last year, the police had to deal with the unruly bikers on the road during the parade. Any such incidents this year?
There's not mentionable, the scooters and bikes were still around. Yesterday, I rode around and checked the situation. And it was more manageable this time, but still, you can't get away from it. You're going to see them all on the side of the road. The new trend is also a lot of gentlemen with cars, with loud music on the side of the road. But it's Carnival, so at the moment it'll be tolerated, but in the future we're going to mostly deal with that part of it also, with the noise pollution.
The anticipation of the participation of the Shaddam in the parade in keeping law and order, was that the case?
This time it was a kind of complicated. I know they were by the border, but they were not involved in the parade. But as much as this goes around, we will for sure invite them. The idea was mostly for them to assist us with the bikers who were coming from the French side, and we know they were busy, so we will thank them for that also.
So overall, apart from 2 main fights whereby 2 persons were stabbed, things went according to your plans, would you say?
Yes, things went according to the plan that we had put together for this jump up. Next week is going to be another jump up, so we are planning for that also.
For all of life's twists, turns, and defining moments, RBC is a blend for all of you. SXM, your social and health insurance is SXM, your social and health insurances.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah, your social and health insurances.
Members of Parliament, the Minister has indicated that most of the answers given in his written response to questions posed in the first part of this meeting are actually outdated and things have changed. With your indulgence, I'll therefore then ask the Minister to please present to Parliament then an update on the matter based on the request for this meeting and what was mentioned there. So with that, members, you do have the written answers for you to peruse if you deem such necessary, but I will now ask the Minister, given his statement, to provide an update on this entire matter to the members of Parliament. Minister, you have the floor.
September 27, 2023, I informed Parliament on the ENIA situation and highlighted that the proposed restart of ENIA would be possible with a significant capital injection from the Netherlands. However, the solution, as I mentioned earlier, proposed at the time will have a significant increase in debt and debt to GDP ratio that is expected that Curacao will immediately or very quickly exceed the interest burden norm. I'd also like to mention just also that the Parliament of Curacao recently gave its support in the public meeting on the February 29, 2024 for the new and recent proposal. By my letter of October 10, 2023, I informed Parliament through its attached documents that Curacao and the Netherlands were not able to solve the issue on the interest burden norm, and as such, Curacao announced to not continue with the restart scenario of ENYA as was worked on so far. On March 5th, 2024, I provided Parliament with all the answers on the questions posed during the meeting of September 27, 2023. Having said all this before, today I will inform Parliament further on the ENYA situation and the new proposal to be implemented. As a refresher, the ENYA Group has been under emergency regulations since July 4, 2018. CBCS has been running ENYA as an going concern while restructuring both the liabilities and the assets. The rationalization and harmonization of insurance policies, operational reorganization and cost measures, clawback of funds from overseas, the liquidation of high-risk investment portfolio, sale of Banco de Caribe, etc., and most importantly, court proceedings against the shareholder leading to a judgment in appeal, ordering the shareholder to pay back at least 230 million guilders with the litigation still pending. The Central Bank, however, called on government to prevent an insolvent resolution because amounts recovered may not come timely and may not be sufficient to fix the deficit. Curacao and St. Martin invested substantial time to explore various alternatives, both as a strategy for ENYA and how to restructure a potential support package for ENYA. At first, just before the summer 2023, Curacao and St. Martin pursued a continuation, in Dutch is called a doorstart, as the preferred resolution, and representatives of both the countries worked with the Netherlands and Central Bank to develop a plan for the same. The outcome was a comprehensive package resulting in a restructuring with a full continuation as outlined in the old outline agreement of the 16th of August 2023, the Hoofdlijn Accord, which is the old one, which was put to the Council of Ministers of Curacao, St. Martin, and the Netherlands. Curacao eventually indicated it had to depart from the initial proposal, and in continuation on October 2023, it said it was to be implicated exceeding of their interest burden, which could potentially jeopardize the capital investment loans. Therefore, Central Bank, Curacao, and St. Martin resumed talks to come to a new outline agreement. Parties agreed to the new outline agreement on a technical level on the 18th of December 2023. The new outline agreement provides for a partial continuation of ENYA, which once approved will be implemented as soon as possible in 2024 and avoid a reduction on policies. The new outline agreement provides for, amongst others, 1, the creation of a new solvent life insurer, together with the new associate entities. The shares in ENYA will be held by a new established Stichting Beheer, which will issue share certificates to a new established resolution. 2, a split of the life insurance portfolio between ECL, which is the old, and ECL new, subject to court approval. 2A, rights and obligations occurring from premiums paid before July 2018. To B, rights and obligations occurring from premiums paid since July 4th. Goes to the new. 3, partial continuation of ENYA through ENYA New as a competitive insurer, fully capitalized, reorganized, and fully licensed. 4, a runoff of the ECL old with the rights and obligations of accruing premiums paid before July 4th, 2018. Curacao, St. Martin, and the Central Bank will provide annual funding to pay all policyholders over time so that policyholders will, as far as currently be foreseen, not be subject to any reduction on their rights. The stipulated amounts are to be paid to the Resolution Fund, which will use the funds to finance the old ECL. The funding from Curacao and St. Martin to the Resolution Fund will have the form of a subordinated loan. In that way, if ENYA manages to recover substantial amounts from the Ansari, et al., the funds provided will eventually be repaid to the financiers. The financial model. Central Bank established a technical committee with experts, financial advisors, and legal advisors to support the design and the restructuring of the preparations. A financial model was developed that forecasts the expected cash flows of ENYA for 50 years. In addition, a financial model was developed that forecasts the expected earning power, profitability, and cash flows of ENYA. The data set underlining the financial models does not yet meet the quality criteria that typically apply to an investment of this magnitude due to the scarce resources available at ENYA and Central Bank, and the complexity of the calculations of individual contracts needed for the attribution to the ENYA old and the ENYA new. A focal point of transition is to further pay attention to the financial reporting of ENYA for the allocation of revenues, claims and benefits, and operational costs, which is also required if ENYA is to be sold to a private party in the future. The interest of policyholders, the public interest in the final solution, and the anticipated adverse consequences of putting a systematic institution completely into a runoff led the parties to prefer a partial continuation, noting also that this scenario entails a relatively low risk and provides opportunities for value preservation. Considering the financing required for the partial continuation, parties agreed the central bank will pre-finance the remaining deficit in years when the yearly contributions provided by Curaçao, St. Martin, and Central Bank would not be enough to pay all the policyholders. Some key topics: the status and conditions. The outline agreement will be signed after the approval of the Council of Ministers in each country. The outline agreement will be signed after the approval of Council of Ministers in each country and the board approval Central Bank. Under the reservation on approval from the external parties, like after the Court of First Instance in Curaçao has approved a measure to be applied to the life insurance portfolio, and after the support of the parliaments of Curaçao and St. Martin for the final contribution that must be made by the countries for the ENYA resolution over the long period.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah. Your social and health insurances. For all of life's twists, turns, and defining moments, RBC is a blend for all of you.
The president of the collectivity recently visited the construction sites of the future educational gyms in the region, namely the 600 College in French Quarter and the 900 College in La Savane. This visit reflects a strong commitment to education and a constant concern for providing modern and tailored infrastructure to meet the needs of students.
The 600 College in French Quarter promises to provide a conducive learning environment featuring classrooms equipped with the latest technologies, green spaces, promoting student well-being, and quality sport facilities. At the same time, the 900 College in La Savane is poised to be a center of excellence, emphasizing the diversity of educational activities and the holistic development of students.
I'm very happy with the way things are going. As the visit on the field trip, permitted us to see that they are making significant progress with the construction of both colleges, the seniors, both in French Quarter and also in Grand Cars, in the Savannah. However, we are very well hopeful that we will have the 900-seater in Savannah for the beginning of the school year 2025. They are working diligently, speedily on it, and I'm very much encouraged by what I've seen, and I can only encourage them to do more to make sure it stays and becomes a reality for the young students who are going to both colleges in the future. We as a collectivity, we had to go a lot of many aspects of the program, change up many things, which has increased the cost, but we are prepared and ready to fit that bill. So we are very much pleased with what is happening.
The recent visit of the National Agency for Urban Renovation, ANRU, to Saint Martin was a key moment in the process of revitalization and the transformation of this collectivité. Accompanied by local representatives and urban planning technicians, members of the ANRU surveyed the neighborhoods, interacted with residents, and evaluated the various projects in progress. The objective of this visit was clear: to develop strategies and solutions adapted to improve the quality of life of residents and revitalize urban spaces. The lively discussions highlighted the specific needs of the community, emphasizing aspects such as housing infrastructure and economic development.
English? Yes, well, I'm happy to report that L'Enrue, and I know Bernadette Davis was involved in spreading the information. This agency, the French agency, involved in housing development, and they are working diligently on it with us. There are some field trips organized essentially to promote better housing in the country. So we are committed to work with them. Right now there's a field trip schedule, and that is to get adequate information about the living conditions in the various districts, but with the intention of creating, renovating, knocking down certain buildings, reconstruction, because we want to improve the quality of life in the various districts on the island.